Hi, welcome back. I'm Roger. I'm from Prud'homme Beer Certification, and today's style session is going to look at an iconic style from Germany. That is the black lager or Schwarzbier. And this is a very, very old style. In fact, when we talk about styles, we know that most styles didn't really show up until the 1800s, early 1900s. They're very modern to think about, but black lagers have been around for a long period of time. Let me pour it. We'll discuss what you should be getting out of a black lager in comparison with other styles, and then we can talk about the history of it. So the brand I'm featuring today is called Köstritzer. It is from Bad Köstritz in the eastern part of Germany, in Saxonia. And we're going to pour this, and then we're going to talk about the kinds of things that you should be looking for this. This is a nice glass for this beer, because it opens up a little bit more in the midsection, and it really enhances the kinds of characteristics that you want out of a malt forward beer. And malt is the star in this beer. So let me show it to you. It looks black, but I can tell you that if you hold this up to the light, that it's not really black and it's not opaque. It's crystal clear, and it has this beautiful mahogany garnet tone to it. There are black notes in here, but you get lots of reds and burgundies in here as well. The foam is a cappuccino crema color. It's got that nice beige. It's thick and frothy and a little pillowy on the top as well. And it's a really cool beer. A lot of people drink with their eyes, and when you look at a dark beer, some people are really afraid that it's going to be full-bodied. But this is a lager, and it's really nice and light and easy to drink, and it's very thirst-quenching, especially at nice cold temperatures. So the things that you look for in a Schwarzbier are typically what you find with dark malts. And especially in this particular type of beer, what we're looking for is dark roast coffee, espresso, dark chocolate, and then we start looking into the kinds of characteristics that you get from when you burn things. So burnt toast, smoke. There's some umami characteristics like soy sauce in here. You're going to get dark notes of pumpernickel bread, so that really nice sourdough pumpernickel bread that's got a little bit of acidity to it, but you can smell all the dark, rich roasted flavors. Roast is a big part of this particular one, and char. So sometimes with black lagers, you get a charred characteristic, almost like a charred marshmallow if you were roasting it. There's virtually no hop characteristics in this style of beer at all, because for the most part, when Germans brew, they use hops as a balancing agent. They use hops as a preservative and as a balancing agent to make the beer less sweet. So we're going to get a really nice, easy finish on this one. When you take your first sip, it's going to come in, you'll feel a little gentle tingle, and then it's going to get wiped out of your mouth really quick. So that's a really fast finish. It does have a mild aftertaste, and the aftertaste is going to be reflective of what we talked about on the aromas. You're going to get dark chocolate and espresso and dark coffee in there, and you might get a little bit of dark roast, especially burnt toast. The other thing about these beers is they typically don't have any sweetness. So they're normally very, very dry. And that's an aspect of using dark colored malts as well, as you get this really nice dry finish. And when you get a dry finish in beer, it actually stimulates your desire for another one. So it makes your mouth pucker and water, and then your brain wants more. So why don't we take a sip, and we'll just, I do love this style. In the taste, we're getting the same characteristics. Lots of dark chocolate, a little bit of acidity from that sourdough pumpernickel bread, espresso. You get a little bit of acidity on a really good espresso, and that's the same kind of characteristic that you're going to get in the Schwarzbier. So let's talk about where these came from. It is very likely that black beers or dark beers have been around for thousands of years, because when we treat malt, a lot of times it was open fire, and you can't control the heat in an open fire very well. So a lot of times you would char the grains, and so you'd end up getting these very, very dark beers. But in 1390 is the very first mention of what we call a Schwarzbier, and that was from a city called Braunschweig. And that's where things started on this particular style, and we know that the style goes back to 1390. So it's a very, very old typical style. It varies from a lot of different dark beers. So when you're considering stouts, black lagers have the same kind of characteristics as stouts, except they finish a lot faster and they're a lot easier to drink. They don't have that longer aftertaste. They're different than Munich Dunkels because they have a little bit more intensity to them. They have a little bit more dark roast characteristics to them. They are incredible beers to drink with almost any food, and wonderful, obviously, with anything that you're going to do on the grill. Fantastic with chocolate, with desserts, but it's a really cool style, and I hope that you find time to explore your local craft breweries and some of the bigger breweries that are making these really important black lagers. So thanks for joining me. I look forward to seeing you next time. Cheers.